Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Wrestling for Life Network. This is our full gear preview and prediction show. Lots to talk about, lots to get into, more added matches, and we're going to talk all about them. It's going to be fun. Who do you think's going to win? Get in that chat. Make sure you strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel good, and let's predict. Ding, ding, ding. We are live and back at it again, folks. Welcome back to the Wrestling for Life Network. We appreciate you being here as we get ready for Saturday's big full gear pay-per-view. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be crazy no matter how you look at it. Lots to talk about, lots to break down. Me and that pretty face got you for the next little bit here as we dial in and go through our picks, our thoughts, our hopes and aspirations for full gear here tonight. Again, get in that chat, hit like, share, subscribe, and make sure you join the family. Be a part of the Wrestling Fans United. And if you don't know who we are, well, I am Mr. Evernight KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube. That is Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight KJ White. I am Big Nick. And breaking news, everyone, in case you weren't already full of tournaments and Gauntlet Battle Royals to determine and everything, the Casino Classic is back, and it'll be back
next week.
Continental Classic, whatever it is. It's so important and so impressive. I forgot the name of it, but we got tournaments on tournaments on tournaments.
This got brought up late in the show last night when we were live, and we didn't really get too much into it. There are questions. There are questions with the Continental Classic, like, does Okada still have all three titles? Is it just for the one of the three? If it's a unified title, well, then do you get both? Does he have to do what he did last year and win the whole damn thing again? If Okada wins it again, we got problems. But ultimately, we'll find out how they're going to set this up. I like the tournament format for Tony because it does dial back a little bit of some of the booking decisions. You just have a match. However, again, some of the rules are a little unclear.
Well, it's some of them are like with Okada and everything. Is he win it a third time and he's like MJF with the diamond ring? They just pretty much retired it at that point because it's basically the G1 from New Japan. But it is, you're having a Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal at Full Gear to determine a new champion. You're still got the women's tag title tournament going on to crown a new champion.
That's going to World's End.
That's at World's End?
Apparently, they're stretching that out to World's End. That's December 27th. How are you going to make this tournament interesting and exciting? You're already at the semifinals, and if what people are saying is true, how are you going to stretch that out all the way till the end of the year?
Because we'll still be talking about that impressive fatal four-way, four corners match that determines the stipulation for their semifinals matches that we're getting tonight at Full Gear, or Saturday at Full Gear. But on top of that, too, now you have the Continental Classic. It's so much of the same shit.
We just like run another tournament. We talked about the women's tag tournament being kind of swallowed up by blood and guts. We'll see. The Continental Classic was, I thought, really, really good the first year. It was less good the second year, and it kind of got really predictable how they were kind of lining things up. We'll see what they do this year. And again, like, if you win the tournament, you become Continental Champion? But do you get the other two belts? Are you a unified champion? We got to clarify some things.
Oh, absolutely. But we can clarify at least who's the top three in the chat from last night of Spaz, Misfit, and Damien. So Simone got knocked off the block.
We got knocked off the list. We see Zach, Stormy, Kevin. Don't forget, we'll get into that in a second, actually. Cherokee George, back at it again. He had all the things to say. National Honey Bun and Goat Milk Day. There's a combo. Honey buns and goat milk.
Oh, Jesus. But I do like this, though, from C Money. It's National Call Your Mom Day. If you haven't spoken to your mother today, give her a buzz. She'd love to hear from you.
What up, Mom? Love you.
Do it.
Let's go. Dark Monkey in the chat with you guys are my favorite channel on YouTube. Appreciate that. We do love it.
But then we're just in
Mega we're in his top 5. Come on now.
Shout out though everyone with the Bills, because yes, I do have the Bills game in the background, but we'll talk about that later.
Let's go. Daniel Berry Sports highlights. Mega, we got you. Trey, welcome back. C Money, Z-Man. Folks, get in the chat. We will ask you what your opinions are on the matches. Nick and I are going to break them down. Do you want to talk or touch on at all anything to do with the pre-show? I know there's 4 pre-show matches now. So we've got up to 13.
Yes.
We went into yesterday with 10. We come out with 13. I still think 4 pre-show matches is dumb. Like, why is that not just your Collision? Instead of doing a 3-hour show last night, do Collision at this time.
You might as well, when you air it on TNT and not on your YouTube pre-show when you purchase the pay-per-view in your issues. But that's the thing is when you can only watch the tailgate throwdown on TNT, make it your fucking Sunday Night Heat. I mean, it kind of already is, but it's your Collision at that point.
Yeah, like just kind of just clarify, define things better. There's better decisions to be made in that kind of regard. I still find it funny that I haven't heard a whole lot of people talk about their counter booking themselves. I know you and I have talked about it a lot. I haven't heard a lot of the experts out there talking about the fact that they're running a pre-show up against this tailgate party. Tailgate party has nothing to do with tailgates. Even in places that don't tailgate, they're doing it. So, again, anything on this pre-show? I know Eddie Kingston and Hook are fighting TBD.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I mean, I'm always a sucker for Eddie Kingston. I have no idea who it could be at this point.
Who gives a fuck about an Eddie Hook open challenge?
I care because I love Eddie.
Right? Like, who wants to fight? What? Like
I just don't know what story they would be in at this point because they've been basically just what it's going to be. What Hobbs and Shibata because they've said, oh, don't you tempt me, right? But is it going to be Hobbs and Shibata? Because right now that's the only thing that they have going as a feud because they've been paired up with Hangman.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. I mean, it's been a little messy and clunky. We were kind of excited for Eddie to come back, and Eddie's return has felt like it has mattered little to not much.
I can't deny that, but also
I know you love Eddie too, but he is irrelevant.
They are not doing right by Eddie. He came back. His comebacks felt flat, much like Tony needs to stop having all of these goddamn money stipulation matches. You having 2 on the same show. This man is going to give out $1.2 million on this show to people he's already paying to work there.
Yeah, I don't get it. So, like, in a world where you have so many titles that you're at a point where you can't give out any more titles. So anything that's not a title match is now a money match. But speaking of money matches, we're going to the casino. Full Gear Casino Gauntlet match. Shelton, Bobby, chat, blow it up. Who wins this one? Who becomes the first ever national champion? Dude, I like this. We'll see how this goes. A lot of rumors going around.
Do I answer your question literally and say Austin Idol? Do I say the current champion and say Mike Mondo?
Mike Mondo for the
want to go with this? Yeah,
you want to impress me?
Could you imagine? He goes in and wins both of them.
I mean, if you said you had a conversation with Billy Corgan and Billy's kind of been struggling, with NWA's popularity, it's kind of low as ever. I do think that there's an opportunity where just have it's a gauntlet match. Have a couple fucking NWA guys show up. And even if
NWA just aired a heavyweight title change that happened 6 months ago.
Yeah, they're a little behind. It's not a good situation. We hyped up NWA when in the beginning, we were big advocates of don't miss NWA pay-per-views. Like their weekly show might be hard to follow or find, but their pay-per-views bang. We were, committed to the Crockett Cup, a 2-day event, and it's gone sideways. And unfortunately, this gauntlet match, I mean, again, with the actual out there buzz of like NWA feeling screwed, or at least the wrestlers feeling jobbed out or forgotten a little bit, you have a chance, have Mike Mondo run out. Even if, don't have him win, but just a moment of like, oh shit, that's the end. That's the belt that doesn't exist.
Everybody the fuck up if he turns out and wins and he's got both of them. I mean, I
Right.
would hate to see Mike Mondo go over Bobby Lashley, respectfully,
Yeah.
just my personal opinion. But we talked about this a bit last night of, I'm excited for Bobby versus Shelton, seeing them actually lock horns, and it's going to make sense, and it shouldn't tear apart. Hurt's going to get, this isn't like they can't stand each other, so they've got to, collide. This is just how it works out. Do they do the finger poke of doom here? Because it would make the most sense. It would be the way to keep it short and brief.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. You suggested that last night. Full credit to you on that idea. And since you said it, I'm like, that is the best choice. That like you kind of want, like, I've said you should lean into the Hurt Syndicate being baby faces. But like everyone else, they're kind of gray. They're heelish depending on who they're arguing with. They're babyface-ish depending on who they're arguing with. However, that is such an like, for better or for worse, every person that gives a shit about wrestling, that watches it at the level that a lot of the fans out there on the internet do, the IWC would spin just the chaos of arguing over whether or not that was a good decision. I think it would be so noteworthy compared to like any other outcome.
It is an instant way that everyone is talking about this show.
Yeah.
Of that, well, good, bad, indifferent.
Open the show with it.
Yeah, good. Well, that's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Do it. Right out the gate.
Well, then you've got enough people, then you've got buzz throughout the rest of the show on Twitter to where good, bad, indifferent, WCW comparables, it was the right decision, it was the wrong decision. Everyone's going to be talking about it.
Well, again, I mean, for me, it's like, okay, so you have a bunch of people run out that we rarely ever see. Maybe we get Evil, Hologram. Maybe we get More Toast. We get Matt Menard. Like, no, this is way better than anything I just said as far as runouts. One name that is being heavily tossed around, Switchblade, has been out for a hot minute. He could return, and he could win it. I mean, again, I don't think that's as cool as this. Like, Bobby Lashley become national champion on haha, we got you. MVP, smarter than everybody.
Yeah, we lined it up of number one and number two. There's going to be X amount of time until someone gets in the ring. You wanted to know what would happen if Bobby and Shelton lock up. This is what we do. We're all in together. One of us eats, we all eat.
Yeah, you really think we were going to fight each other? And then all they got to do is put Shelton on a mission to find another one of the many belts. Get one of Okada's belts. Just have
put
Shelton
him in the classic. Put him in the classic.
Yeah, let him win the classic. Like, you let Shelton go on a mission to find a belt now. And I think it's a great way to get notoriety for a belt that's already got some notoriety. Jay White could be in the mix. Is there anyone else that really stands out of, like, people said MJF, but I don't want MJF to return in a battle royal. He's already got a contract to fight the champion. He doesn't need to win this one.
It would feel like a step down and a step back, or at least he'd stay kind of in that nothingness void that he was in.
Right.
If we've talked about it, whether it's a world title, when they brought the new world championship to Monday Night Raw and everything like that, and they put it on Seth to establish it as a top title and everything. You put it on a guy like Bobby, and then it's just who's going to beat a guy like Bobby Lashley on that roster.
Yeah, that becomes the big question is, you need somebody to come in, and every couple weeks you give Bobby a match where he looks like a badass, and then every second or third match you sprinkle in somebody a little more challenging to kind of push them a bit more. But there's something cool that could be done there, and I think Bobby looks great. And like you said, and you've been saying for a hot minute, like, Shelton looks phenomenal. Like, if Benjamin was the world champion right now, I wouldn't blink an eye.
No, not at all. Like that's the thing, is either guy here could respectfully win this, whether it's, Shelton pokes Bobby and then Bobby sets his sights on the world title, or like you said, Shelton goes into the classic. Any sort of way with this. Shelton looks like he hasn't aged a day in ring since he was out there eating super kicks cross ring from Shawn Michaels.
Shelton's up there with like R-Truth of like, somehow I aged 30 years and they didn't age a day. Like, how is that humanly possible? Shout out to them on whatever they're doing. Real quick before we get the final answer on this, actually, we'll wrap this up. The only other name I have out there that I think would be a bit of a kind of like a a chance to kind of give a guy some due would be Ricochet. Ricochet could steal this, but a lot of people would do what you just did. That's where I hesitate. Like, is he an eye roll? Like, giving him so much mic time to open Dynamite last night was a bad choice.
He would just be insufferable and not in a good way with that now, too, especially. Like, the motherfucker's going to be wearing that title with a cape and everything. I thought you were going to mention Claudio would be a guy, if it's not going to be somebody that's already been announced, and there's only been 2 people announced.
Claudio's not in anything, right?
Would be a Claudio. Well, they've only announced these 2. And him doing this, and he's a guy that's an established vet. He's, could bring something to the Death Riders, or if the Death Riders splinter, we'll see.
Chris Jericho.
Oh, that would be a big. You negate a lot of good press you just had of he's got to come back and instantly win that title. I mean,
no.
It would almost feel kind of cool because Jericho's back in one way or another. Like, is Jericho at this point that it'd be cool to see him back again?
A little bit, like what we said before, and this is Moxley's thing. Listen, we have a shirt dedicated to how much that guy annoyed me. Like, I was super critical of Jericho. And again, it was more about not who he was as a person or a wrestler. It was just the delusional side of him, the arrogant side of him, that you're saying that you're amazing, but you're not delivering. And somehow you got it twisted, and anybody that doesn't get your shit is dumb. But ultimately, when he comes back, I think I'm going to pop. Like, I think it's going to be a little bit of a whole shit. And if he shows up on the other company, that's going to be a big boom.
Oh, yeah. Well, that'll be a big boom in Saudi Arabia, I think.
Oh, true. All right, final shot on this one. Listen, in a perfect world, and you guys heard it here first. If anyone else out there starts saying this shit, the finger poke of doom is how I would do this, man. Let's do it. I said lean in, bro.
I'll give you this one on leaning in. I hated the first finger poke of doom, and it could just be because you've been stroking my ego of coming up with this idea and everything. So I'll take it. But it does make sense, and it's a good way of just you get in and out of this. And again, you brought it up too last night. When's the last time you saw one of these that didn't go like the whole length?
Yeah, like, and especially with the pay-per-views, like if you run through the review of some of the pay-per-views, like 15 minutes and 47 seconds, 18 minutes, 13 minutes, 27 minutes, 37 minutes, they don't do anything quick. Like, this would be a chance for them to go, get in there, 3 minutes, in and out, shocked world, and move on. And now you get into your next match. You bring out Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher to put on a fucking 5-alarm blaze for everybody coming off that energy. I think your fucking pay-per-view is cooking, and you got 2 guys that can really go. That's how I would try and swing at this.
Fair enough. So are we both taking Bobby, or do you think Shelton's on the other side of the poke?
No, I'll go Bob. Bobby's kind of the leader, right? He feels like the leader.
He's the biggest guy there. He's the biggest guy on the roster. The only guy bigger than him is Hobbs. So that's why you get him to win it, and he goes on a tear. He's your next Jade.
Ricochet Cross would be interesting. That was very interesting. Me and Cross haven't talked in a long time.
I wonder why.
Yeah, right.
Don Callis that's all over your fucking screen, Tony.
Right. I'd say. Now, surprisingly, not a title match. It's been a while since we've done a pay-per-view, and Mox was not in some type of title picture contention. This and O'Reilly, I think this has helped O'Reilly get over a little bit, if I'm being honest. It's not the most. I'm not the most excited for this match. I just don't have faith that Moxley can do it. And of course, no holds barred, Nick.
Because again, and I know we talked about this last night,
it hurts.
Jon Moxley cannot wrestle without a stipulation.
Cannot do
at this point in time. And this looks like a thumbnail or a picture for like Bar Fight 7. I feel a little bit. But Kyle O'Reilly's helped himself with this whole thing. And I wonder if Moxley keeps taking L's, because he's already taken the L to Darby. He took the L in blood and gut. If he takes another L here, does the Death Rider start to lose kind of faith in him, and they get behind, say, a Pac or somebody else, or a Gabe Kidd steps in?
Could it be, do they turn on him because they lose faith in him? Because I mean, again, and you've done it in a manner that he's not just losing, he's tapping. And the one time He almost tapped in addition to that. So it's interesting because it's not what we expect from Moxley, but he still sucks. And he still sucks at selling. It drives me up the wall. And I don't think this is going to be a good match. Like where I just said, if you open with something like the gauntlet match, and then if you followed it with this match, you're going to kill your audience and have to work to get them back. This match is either going to be an overachiever or it's going to murder the crowd and we're going to hit the bathroom hard.
Pause. But I have a little faith in Kyle O'Reilly with this. I mean, do you think it's fitting with, the news or Tony kind of even talking about it of Adam Cole might be done, which we kind of thought when he did the announcement, that Kyle's now kind of the one that you almost feel if Adam was here, Adam would be in this role.
Yeah, there's a chance of that. And I mean, I think in full fairness to everybody that watches us, I know at times we talk a lot about that idea or that approach of we want something new, we want something different. Here you go. And you're like, that's not what I wanted. So I am kind of being like that a little bit with this because I wanted Moxley away from Hangman. I wanted, we talk about giving guys like Kyle or Roddy a chance. They're doing that. So now it's on them to deliver. The build's been a little messy, but it's all the Moxley stuff. Like I said on Wednesday, Nick, like when they announced that it was going to be no holds barred, you could run an instant replay of every other time he's agreed to a stipulation. He's beating up on somebody. The baby face comes running out. He runs away. He goes to the corner. He stops, makes faces. The baby face grabs a mic, screams a fucking stipulation at him, and then everyone pretends to hold him back. You can literally layer them on top of each other. You don't even have to shoot it again. Just play the old version.
Do a super cut. If anybody's got some free time, send us a super cut of all the times that's happened. Because again, it feels like it's the joke of like it's Spider 2 Y banana. Everybody knows how to run that play.
Right.
Fumbarooski. It's
right.
That shit.
So that's it, man. But this could be a good match. Kyle O'Reilly doesn't have the most charismatic personality. Maybe
Kyle's
there's
a
something.
Great wrestler, though. Kyle's a really great wrestler.
He is. He very much is. I don't want to take anything away from Kyle. He's just been completely kind of a background. He's been an extra in a show for 3 years. Like, you know what I mean? He's the guy that was high-fiving with the giraffe.
So not Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but even worse. Like he's like
Jimmy.
He's like Zilla.
no, Zilla's got that swag.
Yeah, but he's not. He's not. He's way back there where we haven't seen him yet. He's just a blank face in the crowd.
Oh, I was gonna say something. I was like, at least he's not a Lance. At least he made.
He's not a Lance. What happened there?
Moxley.
No okay. See, I feel like this is Moxley's get back now. He's gone through some hard times, and I do not think the Death Riders are near mutiny. I don't think the Death Riders are near breaking up. I don't think that's coming or going to happen anytime soon. I truly believe that Tony Khan loves this, loves Death Riders, loves Moxley's work, thinks the man's a badass, a genius. I think Moxley wins.
I'm there with you. I think you kind of nailed it. I think this is their way to try and make John look like a badass again. He goes over Kyle. He's the whole rigmarole. And I've sat there and thought that the Death Riders were on death's door almost every pay-per-view at this point of 2025. And I continue to be wrong. Ago? So at this point, they just let the fucker ride. It is up there with the Bloodline storyline, but this is more bloodletting instead of bloodline. Because it's on year 2 of this. We're on season 2.
Season 2, it feels a lot longer than season 2, but you're right. It's just there's so much potential. If they had somebody that could produce it and write it better, and the big thing with Moxley is his actions got to match his words, and they don't. So at the end of the day, Mox wins this one. Death Riders are good and fine. But in that 76% of the chat took Mox as well. So we will see. It's a bad spinoff, says JV. I agree with that.
Yeah, well, if
I had it bad.
If they did, well, you're not wrong. But if they did what they did in season 2, in season 1's place, it would feel a lot more like
Right.
Mox actually taking things over. They're a violent ragtag, mercenary crew.
Yeah.
Versus they started off feeling wetter than a fucking towel, and now they're trying to be a badass after we had a year of them feeling like they were, a wet fart.
Yeah. And again, like, I mean, another guy that has been here since the beginning, pretty much. And I'm a big fan of Pac. I think Pac's heel work, but we can't get into Pac. Pac's in, Pac's out, one Pac, two Pac, no, the whole story of where is he? He's got visa issues. There's other things coming up. I'm surprised. Do you feel like they completed Darby Moxley? Like they concluded and we can move on?
No, which is why I'm starting to, especially with how we fought and thought about the last match, they might be finding a way to circle this back around at some point. This might be the end at World's End, if you get what I'm saying.
Okay. That makes I can see where you're going with that. Pac is a menace. He can really wrestle. I think this could be match of the night. There's no stip as far as I know. I don't know.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia.
I think there's only 2 matches without a stip. And I think this is the one of the 2. That's crazy. But it's nonetheless,
not a tables match or anything like that.
No, as it stands right now, knock on wood. This should be fun. I mean, it's basically a cruiserweight match. It should be fast paced. It should be back and forth. Neville's going to play the power game. Darby's going to play the underdog. Neville's an amazing in-ring worker, especially as a heel. I think this match could surprise us and be match of the night.
Now that you've said Neville twice, and I forgot for a brief period about that name and everything, now I fully see why he went to Pac, even if you can make the 1 Pac, 2 Pac, your Pac, none joke and everything.
Right.
But should Pac get the win here because they've kind of started to really get behind him? He just came back. They've pushed him. He was the last man in Blood and Guts. He was the one that threw Darby through the flaming table. He had the whole video package in the stairwell that we saw last night. They seem to really be putting a bit of a jetpack to Pac. And if Darby and Mox is done, then where do we go with Darbs?
Well, that's the thing. I think if Darby loses to Pac here, then he's kind of sliding down the totem pole, is he not? Where some people thought he might be ready to take the belt and have a little bit of a run. That's dissipated. That talk has been quiet, and Darby seems to be heading in the wrong direction.
Is it ironic that his casket match with Moxley might have been similar to him climbing Everest? It was the peak, and now he's just on the way down the mountain.
Yeah, and I think for me, that's been the dilemma. Like, I was thinking about this today of like, did Darby and Moxley really come to the end? And then on paper, it's one of those things, like a lot of things for AEW is when you explain it to somebody on paper at times, you're like, oh, okay. They had a coffin match. They had an I Quit match. They were in Blood and Guts together. And you're like, oh, shit, if they did all that, that's got to be the blow-off. And you're like, yeah, but the coffin match didn't deliver. The I Quit match sucked. And the War Games, they weren't involved with each other, during the match or the finish. So it feels a little incomplete. But like you said, maybe they circle back. Pac's an interesting one. I'm going to go Darby just because I'm going to go Darby.
Fair. I mean, shit.
Do you go back-to-back Death Rider? I thought you were going to pick Pac, so I lean Darby.
Fair enough. Well, I was going to halfway while you were saying that of go with the whole, Shawn Wayne's thing. But wait, there's more.
There's more.
That they could still do Darby versus Mox at World's End. If Mox wins and they're still trying to kind of give him, that make good, that lick back and everything.
Okay.
Like a flip name Slickback, then he could face Darby at World's End. But yeah.
Could it be a case Moxley beats Kyle and then comes out later in the night and helps Neville, Pac, helps Pac get the W? Like the Death Riders help Pac beat Darby. So therefore you kind of reignite Darby, John, and then you do World's End, which I believe is near his hometown out in, the West Coast.
Fair enough. Could you flip it though? Because I think you do Pac versus Darby sooner because it's no stip, and then you save no hope bars for later, and that's when you get a Roddy comes out, conglomeration run in, a Death Riders run in. You get the chaos and calamity, and it saves Moxley from having to do too much. So that's where I'm going. I'll take Puck here just to be difficult then, even though my heart of hearts is telling me Darby's probably going to win this, but just to be differential, I'll take Puck.
I mean, I think Pac is a viable option. The placement of the match and how it all goes down will be very interesting to see. Like you said, you could flip the order and still kind of get it right. So very interesting on how it's going to play out. So we'll see.
To me, the order makes sense doing this match first and then the no holds barred match later, just because that's the one that's got the stip to it.
Fair enough. I agree with that as far as the level of things. And it's easier to run in on a match that doesn't have any rules. So maybe that's part of the argument there. But
what is an AEW match, though?
Yeah, they got to work on that. Well, I kind of went on a bit of a monologue last night about the idea that, that's why the refs matter. Because if countouts and shit really were important and you couldn't go out into the crowd during a normal match, when you actually go out to out there during these matches, feels cool again.
Absolutely. It feels unique, but Steven Elimination Chambers went up. Speed Rock and Big Mike went up. Homies out there on the Twitch, as we do on the Twitch as well. But yeah, so what do we got next? I guess we agreed to disagree. If I politely took someone just to be difficult.
That's perfectly fine. So 67% of the chat took Darby. So very interesting with that. The next one up on the docket is the Fatal 4-Way. For the winner gets to pick the stipulation of the semifinal matches in the women's tag team tournament.
Right, Raggy. What sense does that make? And I'll ask this briefly, and chat, you can let us know. Were you over the moon about Tony and Mina's, pairing and performance last night and everything? Because I saw everybody on Twitter that act like that was the second coming of, Mary and, Mother Teresa.
I thought it was good. I like it. I thought the match itself was a little bit clunky, and I don't think any of the matches last night were overly exceptional. Mm-hmm. It was a bit messy. Mina working with Tony works, and they had something going originally, but Mina had to go back to Japan. Then when she came back, they put her in Ring of Honor instead of reconnecting her with Tony. Her and Tony winning this would give a real good level of, I think, initial clout for that belt.
But that's the thing, is this isn't winning the belt. It's perfect that you said that, because I was about to say, should the tournament have been wrapping up here instead of this is now a stipulation for the semifinals?
Yes, this should be it. This should be, either you do two separate tag matches to lead to a final, or you do the Fatal 4-Way. But I thought it ended at Full Gear. Rumor is it goes to World End. Fact checkers out there, you can let me know if that's confirmed or not. I haven't seen anything official, but I have heard that we will not get the women's titles until World's End.
Okay. So,
which I don't know how you get there.
Getting out of the way, are you taking the Babes of Wrath, the Sisters of Sin, Timeless Love Bombs, or what? Don't Megan Bain and Marina Shafir have some name or something?
No, because
badasses.
Well, yeah, they just got put together in the wake of the injury to Penelope. We'll have to give it some thought. Maybe during Full Gear, we'll come up with an official name for them.
Strap on and strap in. There you go.
Amen.
I didn't say nothing, Roddy. We're not judging you.
Not at all, but yeah, good boy. This one's interesting. This one's interesting to call. The fact that you're having a match on a pay-per-view to decide a stip, to me, screams that shouldn't be on the pay-per-view. And you're kind of giving away. Now, they're going to separate and do the matches, but, we don't need. This is where you over-interact with each other. And then by the time you get to the finals, we really, all right, well, okay.
What now? Do they pick one stip for both matches, one stip for our match, one stip for this match?
Just everybody has the same stip.
What are the rules?
Right. I guess the way I understood it is the final will be a Fatal 4-Way, so we're running it back, but that time will be for the title. I think. I could be wrong. That's why.
Like,
Like, I
what's
mean,
the point of
dude,
the semifinals if we're just going to do this
we're,
again?
we're entrenched in the wrestling world, and there's still details like even though we moved the Continental that they should be clear to us. If nobody else, they should be clear to people like us.
Literally, we'll watch every second of every show as much as we can. If it's out here, Clockwork Orange, Tony won't let us stop. But still, yeah. Do you got any sort of a prediction? Because you said this match is interesting. I think it's just interesting it's here.
Yeah.
Why it's interesting it exists.
I think give it to Sky Blue and Julia. Sky Blue was the MVP of the Women's War Games, or Blood and Guts, sorry. And because of the Spooky Dookie girls, they can pick some type of, cage match, dungeon match, whatever. They can make it spooky ooky to their advantage. So I'll give it to them.
Tekla interference?
Yes, let's go. Let's use her more too. She seems like she got something.
It's fitting you pick Sky Blue because I was going to say this is the Blue Duck match of the pay-per-view of I've never seen a Blue Duck. So that's why I drew a Blue Duck. Yeah. I'm going the biggest star in this whole match, and that's Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa. Because I think Toni is the biggest star in this match.
Okay.
She might just now win it outright because of that, because she can't be the women's champion right now. And she'll probably come up with some sort of wacky, old-timey, Yama Pit fighting, fucking stipulation for each match. Because I like the idea if she picks one step for her match and another step for the other match.
Yeah. Now, my only hesitation, and the reason I didn't pick Toni and Mina is I think you're right. They might win it all. So I just assume whoever wins this match is not winning the championship when the championship's on the line. I believe.
You're using sensible thinking, and this is the on-the-nose thinking that needs to be happening here. There's on the nose, up the nose, through the nose is the booking philosophy for Tony Khan. Not the subtle nuance. They're throwing out teasers for this. They nail everything point blank period as to what the fuck they are doing to a detriment.
Timeless love bombs for the win. Let's check on the chat. 53% going timeless love bombs. No respect for Megan and Shafir, which realistically keep them together and let them run the division. They're formidable, but they won't.
If Nina wasn't in the Death Riders, I 100% would say just put them together as a goddamn tag team.
Yeah, I mean,
they could run the whole thing.
Being how bad the Death Riders is, put her with Megan Bain and let them go kick ass.
Facts. And you can just have Penelope being there insufferable, the carnivore barker for the two monsters that she's got chained up behind her.
Right.
She's the Heyman to having, Megan Bain, Bronson Reed, and, Mina Shafir, not Mina Shirakawa, Mina Shafir of Braun Breaker. And that's the first and only time you'll ever hear someone compare Mina Shafir to Braun Breaker.
It's so funny. All right, but I see Taipei Death match, Braun Panties match. No, those days are gone. All right. So next match on the docket, TNT Championship. If Mark Briscoe loses, he has to join the Callis family. No holds barred, no disqualification. No, they called this one no DQ. No DQ. No DQ.
Yeah, well, no DQ. And is the Don Callis Phallus Malice at the Palace family barred from ringside or anything?
No, it's no DQ. It's even worse. Anybody can run in. The whole team can come out together. They can fuck Briscoe as hard and as long as they want to.
Whoa, now. Well, and now we're going to have, how many times are we going to see the conglomeration run out here tonight? Because they're going to be probably doing that with Fletcher. Yeah. They're going to be doing it with Briscoe. I like MDB with Panic at the Briscoe.
It's amazing.
I'm panicking like Anakin is Mark Briscoe going to have to end up being the bitch of the Don Callis family?
Yep. It's a good chance that he would. I mean, would you take the belt off Kyle Fletcher right now?
If I'm going to move him towards the world title.
Circle back, I guess. That's the tricky part with this one, right? Like, then what you do with Kyle, you have to legitimately go after Hangman, and you have to run a program, and you'd almost have to, you want Kyle to kind of win, maybe.
What would be though if you run it back? What's the step that you would add or anything like that? Is it just he's going back after it for the title? Because Briscoe had to fight for his life, fight for his freedom.
Right. Yeah.
And I like everyone's going to have a huge feel-good moment when Mark Briscoe wins the TNT Championship.
Okay. I could see that being a thing. I mean, right now the chat's like almost 50-50 on it. It's a tough one to call. Again, like last time they fought, we said this could be match of the night. They can't keep running this back, but they keep delivering good matches. I will say that. So, but the last one was maybe the weakest of the ones we've had. This should be great. Both guys are super talented. I wish they were in a slightly better angle, but however, I think Fletcher retains. Briscoe becomes the whipping boy for the Callis family till he snaps, and maybe after he snaps, he gets his title.
You really want to see Mark Davis giving marching orders to Mark Briscoe right now? Hechicero yelling at Mark Briscoe in Spanish, and he doesn't know what the fuck he's saying?
My prediction had nothing to do with my desire.
Fair enough. Well, I'm going to go how Tony again should have done it. Should do it. Mark Briscoe wins TNT title. Big celebration. Everybody's happy. It's a feel-good moment.
Okay.
And remember how all the sickos said Kyle Fletcher, and that's not just targeting them. They actually were probably right with this one of Kyle Fletcher versus Hangman Page was probably one of AEW's best matches of the year.
Yeah.
So you run that back now, maybe at World's End, maybe you build towards it of that's the feud coming out of the Joe stuff. And you can actually have this legitimate callback to everything before of Kyle Fletcher took him to his limit. Fletcher's the proto star. Maybe he goes and now feels this confidence again as being the top star. You do him and Hangman, and nobody loses any face with that. If anything, it moves everybody up the pole.
I kind of like it. I mean, it's fresh. It like I know Kyle Fletcher had a title shot before, but it wasn't much of a build, much of anything. This would be bigger. And I think if World's End is your last pay-per-view of the year and your last match is Hangman versus Fletcher and they hit a 5-star, home run, and that's the last match you go into the new year with, that's some good juju. And then you could even throw in the little cherry on top of that's when MJF shows up and says, like, next week on Dynamite, the first Dynamite of the year, I'm challenging for the title. You're like, shit. We can move on. We'll see.
This is when Tony steps on his dick there. Just the tip, though, just for a minute. Because if you got rid of that whole 1 week, you'll be missing the fucking stipulation and just had it be a cash in. You could have that visual, because I almost thought you could have the visual of Kyle Fletcher ends World End as your new AEW champion, youngest world champion. And then guess who shows up to take his claim as your new youngest world champion or former youngest world champion. But if it was just a straight cash in, have Hangman win, have MJF cash in, show up, and the Devil ends 2025 for AEW.
Yeah. With a vibe, with an energy, and you throw that caveat out, and you're right. Like either way, but giving somebody now we're looking forward to the start of 2026 with this group. But officially, you're going
Briscoe.
Fletcher. Okay. So this one, the next one, 53%, 47. So Briscoe, slight favorite, neck and neck. This to me is one of the hardest matches to call of the night.
A little bit. And is it just because we've taken a personal, backing and support behind FTR of make FTR great again?
Yeah. Maybe. I think that's a definite part of it. And I see a world where they could win. And I mean, you want some change in your titles. Like somebody just said, Fletcher's going to hold that title forever. Monet's holding all her titles for a long time or forever. Adam Page might go on a long run here. Moxley just came off a long run. Not everyone needs to have Okada's held belts that we can't even figure out what they are, and he's had them forever. You do need some change, some spicing up of your title picture. Brodito's a great tag team. But you could have FTR beat them and then Brodito chase them. I kind of want FTR to win this, man.
And it's not just because Dax. But with adding new titles, with tournaments abound, I just predicted a title change already on the show. do you need some of those still constants just so everything's not changing all at one time? Of some consistency with throughout this. And Brodito has gotten over like Rover.
They're
And
over.
they just want to see them have a good time.
Right.
And FTR respectfully feels a little bit as cold as ice as it could be right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's been very cold. Brodito gave them a lot of life. And then they kind of got sidetracked with the Okada Takeshita stuff that they didn't need to be involved with. This is a chance where you can have an amazing, classic babyface heel tag team match. FTR knows how to do it. They were at the top of doing it once upon a time. Brodito knows how to do it. We have faith in them. This could be an actually real good fucking surprise match. And listen, I'll be the first one. I'll publicly congrat, Dax on killing it. Like I called into question their booking, and this would be better. This could be better.
This very much has the potential to be match of the night.
Yeah,
because it'll be actually two really solid tag teams going at it.
Mm-hmm.
And four solid performers across the board.
Yep.
I just wonder, either way you go with this, what is left of the AEW tag team scene? This feels like, so this is the end. There is, what other teams are left, my guy? There's the Young Bucks, Gates of Agony again, the Hurt Syndicate. One of them we predicted would be, North American champion. Yeah. So what's left for the tag team division after this?
That's a very good question, right? Like, no matter who wins, I think if FTR wins, maybe you set up something like a Jurassic Express. But there's not a lot of options. Like you said, if Brodito wins, do they go towards the Bucks? Like, who are the big tag teams out there? Especially if maybe Bobby or Shelton ends up with a singles title.
Mm-hmm.
Does that change the dynamic? I don't know. There's no real strong tag teams out there.
Eddie Kingston and Hook for tag team champions in 2026.
Fuck all the way off of that nonsense. Come on now.
This chat's scaring me if they're talking about Josh Allen might be hurt. But anyway,
I was going to ask. I don't know if this is true or not, but
I was peeking, and it looks like it's just more of he was pissed off because we didn't complete a pass or didn't miss the play, but it's fourth down. But anyways, thank you everyone in the chat for giving me a fucking heart attack that Josh Allen might be hurt. But does Cope and Christian, are they in the tag team scene whenever Cope comes back?
I don't
Where's
know,
Christian,
man.
by the way?
What's that?
Where's Christian, by the way?
He just went on, like, Edge had to go, so Christian said, fuck it, I'm going to not work anywhere or at all, I guess. I don't know.
Right. But next match. I'm taking Brodito, you're taking FTR.
Yes.
The Acclaim could be a thing, but they just got back together.
The Acclaim feels so buried and lost on Collision. I think there was potential in what, and I don't want to go too far on this, but what Max was doing might have worked if you actually put it on Dynamite.
No.
I think it had legs.
He got legs, but they were mostly wobbly because he kept getting jobbed the fuck out, my guy.
That's part of very true. However, next, the $1 million match, man. We got Kenny Express taking on the Callous Bucks. I don't know. I don't really care.
Neither do I. Honestly, as much as I'm going Kenny and Jurassic just because it's Kenny and Jurassic. Oh.
But they won the last one. Do the Bucks need to get back?
But the Bucks don't even like being with the Callis family. The Bucks are going to end up being with the Elite again. We're going to get reunited, and it feels so lame. So that's the thing with this. We already know where this is going to end. You've already had, next up, Elite Club, that shit coming up here. So we know when the fuck to get off with this train. So I don't care about, stop C before we get to stop D. Pause.
Yeah. It's just not interesting. And like, this should feel like it matters. These are some of your best guys.
Feud. blood feud.
Right. And it feels like, again, the guys that Tony loves the most are the guys that hurt the company the most. And I like Kenny a lot. I think Jurassic Express, great babyface tag team. The Bucks are just grown men being, children, and it hasn't worked. Josh has all been buried since he signed with this company. So I think I just don't know how the Bucks lose again, but I do think on the face of it, it's got to be Jurassic Express and Kenny because they beat them. Callis gets mad at the Bucks, and that sets up the whole we're all friends again, right? The Kenny Express saved the Bucks from Callis, and they all hug it out. Like you said, it's gonna be fucking kumbaya, and nobody gives a fuck.
Right, because the Kenny and Co will save the Bucks from getting beat down because you let us down, even though Josh Alexander, of all people, if I'm going out for a match right now in AEW and Josh Alexander's on my team, I know we're fucking losing. But this feels like this should be, these guys should all hate each other to an extent. Most of this match because they're all real close friends that all stabbed each other in the back and turned on each other and attacked each other and everything. And it feels like we're sending this over a game of Madden. Like, no one really gives too much of a fuck about this because at the end of the day, okay, so one of us wins $1 million and then here, I'll give you 500,000 and we'll take 500,000 and we move the fuck on.
Yeah, maybe this is the match that needs the finger poke of doom. Just drop down, give each other, split the money.
They just all jump Josh and just pin him.
Right. We'll make this one short and sweet. Both going Jurassic Express. The chat is 80% for the Kenny Express. Yeah, I think that's the story they're trying to tell. It feels obvious, it feels predictable, and it feels lackluster. It feels like they're putting on a show for themselves and nobody else.
Yes.
To all the above.
I was going to say, I can't say any more unless we're going to end up talking another 5 minutes.
No, we're not.
I'm going for the love of God, and we're just going to make this quick because we all fear the Reaper that is Mercedes Moné, the eater of championships, the collector of belts. Please, for all that is merciful, God, please let Chris Statlander win this match and end this fucking reign of terror.
No way. There's no way. This is 15, bro. They even set it up with the fucking extra bonus.
We're in the end game now. Where's Dr. Strange saying, I've seen 1,001 ways that this happens. There's only one way we get out of here.
Mercedes takes belt 15 at Full Gear for sure.
Did you sneakily put Camille behind her with Moné? Because I feel like, is that Camille behind Moné on the picture?
What the fudge?
She snuck back in, did Camille. She snuck back in through the back door. But yeah, to me, I know Moné now at this point is at 14 belts and everything. That she's now surpassed even Kenny and Ultimo Dragon and everything like that. But just let it fucking stop. Not here. No. Tony Stark, stop
the run on 14. 14 such a stupid number.
No, it's a nice even number. You split it down the road. You got 7 on each side. It's a nice even number.
We got 7 on each side.
You can sit there and move it on. Just don't destroy 15? This world, Galactus. Just move on. Fantastic.
I asked last night, does she get to 15? Does she get to 20? If she loses the stat, does she then turn around and win other titles to still, like, does that hinder her whole fucking, her whole legacy of this run if she has losses along the way but still keeps winning? I don't know. And that graphic is when they fought for the TBS title, not the world title. And that is hilarious.
Fair enough. I was like, I thought I saw that. I was like, who be you back there, Scooby-Doo? But it is still one of those, it puts the train off the tracks if this is Moné's crack at the world title, not at Toni Storm, and she's now she's 2-0 or 0-2 against it, and then does she not feel as bright? And
that's so silly, right?
What?
That to me is so silly. Like you're trying to polish this lady up and make her shine bright like a diamond, and that these losses take that polish off. So you're counter booking yourself in the process. If the only this is the sensible side of me, and maybe it doesn't work here, but the only reason you would turn Monet's attention back to Stat in the world title is if you were going to give it to her. Other than that, you're wasting our fucking time by doing this, because Stat could take on Megan Bain or a list of other fucking ladies out there that would be viable challengers for that title. And Sasha could go on about her way collecting all the world's most obscure belts. That's my take on it. Monet's winning. That's my call.
And Raymond agrees with you with a $2 super chat of Tony dropped the belt so Monet can win versus Stat. We feared it the second that they had these two interact.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying just please, for the love of merciful God, don't let it happen. If there is a God above, if there is any good left in the world, don't let this happen.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just an educated guess based on Tony's habits, what Tony seems to do at times, and I gotta stick to the plan and the plot, and it's worked out where she's just collecting all these belts now. At Full Gear, she's gonna win 15. At World's End, she'll win her 20th. At Revolution, she'll win her 25th. They're just not gonna stop, Nick. I mean, she's like the Kirby of belt collectors.
She's fucking Thanos out here. How many Infinity Stones does this bitch need? But now, see, this is where I'm going the opposite of how I said with you. Of it's the on the nose booking of it's so obvious that you try and Jedi mind trick, your way out of it. Of no, they're trying to secretly hide something in here. It's like no, they're really just gonna fucking do it, and she's just gonna take over. Does she at that point kill AEW's women's division?
Yeah, because
it's the biggest logjam. It's a beaver dam. Pause. Sorry.
That is.
It came to me and I just said it and it happened. Moving on.
I almost choked, but I would have spit if I was drinking, man. That is fucking jokes. At the end of the day, that is the problem. And part of that is when you have what Moxley did for so long with that world title in his possession, or what you have her doing right now, where she's just eating everybody up. The problem is they don't get in the ring and do a good job. Monet's having bad matches, and I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I'll do a live watch along, with anybody, and we can break it down on how bad her matches
with Mercedes Monet.
With Mercedes, of like, what the fuck is you doing? She has good matches when she's in the ring with good wrestlers. If she has to lead or carry, it goes to shit. And that's my honest opinion. And that becomes the problem. She's not giving good promos. So she has all these belts. And you know what? If it's causing so much engagement out in the world, keep doing it. Fuck it. Lean in. Let's get to 50. Let's Goldberg this bitch.
I was going to say, I've been the one that was saying she's out here doing the troll job and she's doing what a heel's supposed to do. But Devin's saying, she's just going to win until I can still remember it. She's going to win until her contract ends, and then she's just going to say, "I'm sorry, Paul," and just leave Tony high and dry with 27 belts at that point.
Would that not be the biggest case of AEW whiplash ever? Is if she ever walks back through the other curtain? Like, could you imagine people's heads would spin off after all of this shit if she ends up back there? Oh my God!
Oh yeah. Absolutely. I like this though, real quick from Anthony. She's going after Cena's record. She's trying to get them all at one time, all 17.
Man, the must-see 17. That's what we call her.
Fuck you. Tony, we already want roadies, and everyone timestamp this so we can claim copyright. We said it before. We aim to use that for merchandise and entertainment purposes, whatever we need to say. Yeah.
Yeah, the must-see 17. This shit writes itself. So I think Monet wins. I think her run continues. I think it continues to irritate a lot of people out there. and they know it does, and they're grinding into it. My only advice is I wish she was better in the ring. I wish she was a better promo. I do not think Mercedes has great matches, and I know some people tried to hype up a couple of the matches she had this year, but like she's had some stinkers.
For every good match, she has 3 bad ones.
Maybe. But are you going? You're hopefully.
I am holding down the fort, Hodor, if I can say words.
Hodor.
I am Hodoring of Statlander wins. I know I'm most likely wrong, but we can't keep letting her get away with this.
Somebody's got to save us. Somebody save us.
I need a hero to save me.
Oh man. So yeah,
is this the main event of the evening?
Main event. And we made good time considering us. But we got to get one more in. Adam Page, Samoa Joe. They ran it back, and we're going in a cage. Nick, the match should be great.
Dude, I had a thought real quick, and I know again y'all wanted to fit one more in, so I'm going to fit another thing in. The segment that they did at Blood and Guts with the cage coming down wasn't a bad idea in concept.
It was just terrible.
Was just failure executing it.
It was stupid.
If they would have had a little bit more pace to it, and it was coming down for the next match and everything, it would have made way more sense.
Yeah.
I like this match just because of who's involved in this match.
Fair enough.
Heyman's winning this match. It's a fucking cage match.
Mm-hmm.
What more needs to be said? Samoa Joe's a great wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
He's a great guy to help put Adam Page over, right? Page having a barn burner.
But has he?
Maybe not, but maybe this match gets him there. I mean, people love, but that's the tricky part. Like Joe's playing a bad guy, but we all love him, so it's a tough one. Ultimately, though, a big win over Joe in a cage. You can check him off, and then we can maybe move Page into something else. Back to MJF, maybe something more viable. I don't believe Joe's winning this either. I don't think that makes sense. I think Tony Adams, one of the guys that Tony's strapped his horses to, like Moxley, like Mercedes, Page is in that coveted group. He wins.
But is this a little bit like, Grandmama gives you some cookies or anything like that? And, you always love Grandmama's cookies, but these ones, they're still half-baked and a little raw in the middle and everything like that. They didn't sit in the oven that long. Right. You don't have the heart to tell Grandmama that you don't like her cookies. It's got a little bit like this with Samoa Joe of, we love Joe. Joe's fantastic. Joe's the better professional wrestler in this situation.
Yes.
Bar none. If this was my promotion, Samoa Joe's my world champ, not Hangman right now.
Yep.
But this whole story, this whole feud feels half-cocked, half-baked, amalgamated. It feels like they're still trying to build the story while they're finishing the story.
I think because how it all kind of weaved in the Moxley stuff, and then like when we came out of the Moxley stuff, he still had matches with Claudio, and then Joe was his buddy, and then Joe wasn't his buddy, and the whole heel turn was so arbitrary of like, you got dust on my shoe. Like that was literally kind of how this went out. Made Joe kind of seem petty at the beginning, which not in a good way either. I don't think it was like, come on, Joe's got thicker skin than that. But again, I think the good news is this pays off in the ring. And if they can keep, don't have a whole bunch of run-ins, don't have a whole bunch of bullshit, just let it speak for itself. Let Joe be the guy he is, and let Page be the guy he is, and let them fucking deliver. Give them time, let them cook. This could be match of the night. It could be potentially a match of the year kind of match. This could be a really fucking over moment for Hangman. And the cage spot at Blood and Guts, it was just ill-conceived because stay the fuck away from the cage between the two cage matches.
No, because I thought if they were doing it as it was lowering the cage and everything, and then it teases and it ties in, and I'm setting up the cage match. It was a bit, but if you're gonna do it, that's the way you have to do it.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is, this is going to be a great match. This is going to be a good match.
Mm-hmm.
And I like is it weird that you have to have a cage to keep these fuckers in any aspect of this?
And they won't. They'll end up in the crowd. I bet
that's a whole part of the stipulation, but I digress. We're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into that right now.
No, we're not. It's funny as shit. You're right, though. You're right. 100%, my guy.
But this is going to be a good match. But you really can't shake a stick of any other way of that Hangman Adam Page wins this, because as much as we'd like to see Joe, if it keeps things on their toes and everything, if you did that, we know they're not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Swerve returns at Full Gear. I mean, I haven't heard any updates on Swerve. I have no idea.
Ospreay, MJF, Jay White, yay or nays on if they return. Chris Jericho.
Ospreay,
do we get any surprises at Full Gear?
Yeah, I think Jay White is a solid one. I almost guarantee we get Jay White. If, and again, there's a 95% chance the Casino Battle Royal is going to go, for a few names. I think you do get Jay White there for sure. Maybe you get the other ass cheek, the other ass boy comes back as well. He's been out. I don't know, though. MJF could, because I don't know what MJF's doing right now. So MJF could, to kind of set up World's End. Ospreay's out till 2026, if I'm correct.
I think Swerve is too.
I think he might be. I don't know if Swerve's ready.
We have
a fair race.
It's been all quiet on the Western Front. Now, could Jay White end up? I know he's bang, bang, gang, but I feel like the fucking 50 Cent line of I am not gang, gang. I do not gang, gang. But could you end up to where Jay White is either pro or anti-Death Rider?
Yeah, I mean,
Switchblade, doesn't he feel like he'd be a pimp? A Switchblade feels like something would be in the repertoire of the Death Riders. I
think you should take the Bang Bang Gang and put them in something very serious, very fast. I think they could, if they came running out and they were going after the Death Riders, that might be fun to watch. Like there's enough talent there that maybe that helps, but use him wisely. He should be a guy near the top of the charts. Juice is great, a great personality, another guy that really could help get your TV over if you use him properly. And the Gun Boys, they can go. They're big personalities, they're charismatic, and they can go. There's a lot that really could help your shows if you can utilize that group.
Jay White will be a nice bolt back, I think, if and when he comes back. Right. I like the Guns in the tag team division. I don't know how I feel about Roadkill, Amish Paradise, Juice Robinson, but yeah.
Which group breaks up before 2026 Death Riders Judgment Day? I think Judgment Day is closer. And Tony loves Death Riders.
One's more predictable than the other, and I think it's Judgment Day with that one.
Right. I swerve when I drive. Let's go. But that's it. That's the 10 match. That's 9 matches. 4 matches on the pre-show. The Tailgate Brawl, which will go up against their pre-show on Saturday night. We go live at 6:45, Nick. It's going to be fun. Our Saturday streams always cook. I hope everyone bees a friend and tells a friend. But overall excitement level going into this one, it's an interesting one. Are we hoping the Outkicks its coverage again? Like, I feel like it's booked like a 6, but it could be a 9.
There was a lot of jokes I could have made right there with that, my guy.
I did that by accident, folks.
Sure you did, pal.
I'm taking it though.
Fair enough. I would expect nothing less. I know this is called Full Gear. This feels to me like we put it in neutral and we're just, the doors are all open. We've got us and a couple of friends trying to just push this off the road so we're not blocking traffic as we got the 4-ways on a little bit.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it could. This is like the epitome of where we talked all year, all last year. I mean, for a while now, this is like, it's very typical AEW pay-per-view where nothing really, like a lot of things didn't make sense. There was a lot of, how did we get here? Even last night, I was like, how many matches have they announced? 4? They had announced like 10. like they just kind of slid it all by us. But the athletes are good enough to deliver. My only concern, I will say this, I think one of my biggest concerns about Full Gear, so many steps. Every match has something, except two. And I mean,
every pay-per-view for them. This is why Tony Khan's so good about WWE counter-programming him, because he counter-programs himself on a fucking monthly basis and everything.
Right.
He does it with Blood and Guts, and then we've got Full Gear literally like 10 days away from it.
Right.
Are you kidding me, my guy? All in, all out, almost on the same goddamn month.
Yeah.
He's used to counter-programming because he does it against himself. He's kicking his own ass, Seabass.
I'm kicking my own ass. Do you mind? Yeah, I mean, it's like you saw the ladies, and a lot of people said the women's Blood and Guts was better than the men's. And now you're going to see them in a fatal four-way tag match on the pay-per-view. It feels backwards, don't it? It feels like maybe we got the order wrong.
You mean I don't put my socks over my shoes? I put my socks and then my shoes on?
I mean, depends on the weather, I guess. But wrestling, that's us. We don't forget, folks, the prediction title will be on the line. We have changed up how we take the predictions. The link is out there. It's on our socials. It's on our Discord. You can copy and paste it from this screen, but click on the link. It should be right there, easy to fill out. Make your picks. There's a tiebreaker at the bottom. And we appreciate your support. And let's see if we can get a new champion. And again, we're hoping to start giving out prizes, not just name recognition as well. So stay tuned and good luck.
Absolutely. And that's the way that we can best, keep track of everything. They were calling in and suspecting, ballots and voter stuffing and everything like that. So, yeah.
Right. And if anyone out there has friends, family, they don't have, just send them the link for the predictions if they want to play along. Again, maybe they want to join in after, but ultimately share this with everyone see if they want to play, see how many people we can get in the battle for the belt.
12-game parlay brought to you by not DraftKings or FanDuel or anything like that.
Right.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Let's go. But that's it. We shirt people, Nick. We're the WFU. We're back tomorrow, 7:30 for SmackDown. Any final thoughts on Full Gear? Any other thoughts or anything?
Full Gear will not be the best AEW show of this month.
Oh, that's okay. I like it. We'll see. We will we'll make a
I can tell you what one is, and it's Blood and Guts, and they did it within the same fucking 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, again, they're gonna have to live up to what they created here. And people are hoping, and we see it every pay-per-view. It's the best pay-per-view of the year. But we'll see. They're up against some stiff competition right now, and it's from themselves.
That's the funniest part about that. But, yeah, stop me before I keep going for another.
Yeah, enough. Just say goodbye.
Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you talking about that, we're able to put that for life with it.
See you on the flip side. SmackDown tomorrow. Full Gear Saturday. Bye.